I just finished watching Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Here's the thing. To talk about what's wrong with this movie, I'm going to have to talk spoilers. And I know this movie's been out for a while, but I just want to warn you now. And I know the other ones I've talked spoilers with, but not as much as this one. And so, like, I'm going to have to go into the third act. And this movie is really awful, and no one should watch it. Flat out. No one. I remember when this movie's trailers were coming out. I thought trailers were kind of but you see Dr. Ian Malcolm, I love Jeff Goldblum, so it's like, Jeff Goldblum's coming back. I was like, okay, I'll go see this. I was going to go see it anyways, kind of because, I have grandparents that I go to the movies with a lot, and they love Jurassic Park series. The only one they don't like is Lost World for some reason. They even like this one more than Lost World, which I don't fully understand. But, hey, it's whatever. So I was going to go see this movie regardless. So I went to the theater, I sat down in the chair, and Jeff Goldblum was in it for the first 5 minutes, had nothing to do with the plot, and what he said was bullcrap. He said, oh, no, these dinosaurs need to be extinct. Yeah, that's exactly why Jurassic World should have never happened. That's why this movie should have never happened. And yet we're going back to the well for a third time after this movie. It didn't make sense that it was in this movie. It was very bad writing. And they pandered to original fans of the movie and said, hey, look, Ian Malcolm's in this movie, and he's in it for 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. It's like a minute. Granted, he has more time on screen than Rose Tico has in Rise of Skywalker, but, like, why? Why? Like, fans want to see him, and I've heard, like, from reports that in Jurassic World 3, which is Jurassic World Dominion, I think is what they're calling it, he's going to be in it more. Laura Dern's character is going to be in it. I think it's Ellie. And then also Sam Neill's character, Dr. Alan Grant. They're supposed to be in the next one a lot more and actually be a part of the plot, which is cool, but it's like, then why did you have him in this movie? Really think about that. Also, the message of this movie, which is pro-animals, let's save the animals. This is bullcrap. You know why? Like, okay, this movie actually panders to a lot of political groups, so trigger warning, I guess, if you're, like, offended by any type of politics and movie criticism, but, like, you can't not talk about it, because that's what they do within the movie. Like, this whole subplot about Claire wanting to save the dinosaurs as if they're like animals, like normal animals that don't eat and kill people. Like, these animals don't deserve to be free because they eat and kill people. That's why they died off in the first place. I'm sorry you're a retard and can't understand this, but maybe you should turn on your little brain in your head. Talk about the screenwriters when I'm saying that, because it's like, what the hell? Like, why would you write that? It was trying to pander to a political group while not understanding that it doesn't work for the movie they're going for. It was just so dumb. And then you see, I guess I should just get into what the plot of this movie is. The plot of this movie is that Claire goes back to the island to save the dinosaurs. Oh wait, there's actually set up. They were sent there, and they capture all the dinosaurs, and now they're taking them to this rich guy's mansion. And there's gonna be and he wants to sell them in an auction bid, and he's making clones like the Indoraptor. He also has a clone daughter, who saves the dinosaurs at the end of the movie because they're alive, like me. Yeah, so they can go kill humanity. Great job, kid. Man, that kid better be eaten and dead by the next movie. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know why they thought that they need to add in a clone subplot in a movie about dinosaurs, and why they thought the third act of the movie needed to take place in a mansion of all places, where they were just running from dinosaurs. I mean, I get this director has like horror background, and that's why the cinematography and a lot of the shots here are really good. Like, the cinematography is actually really good, but like, this isn't what anybody wants from a Jurassic World movie. Even if you want like a dumb eat 'em dinosaur movie, this movie isn't that. They have so many political groups they're pandering. Like, they have this one feminist girl who's like, I don't need no man. And like, she gets offended by everything within this movie. And it's like, what? Like, some people aren't even being sexist to her, and she's just acting all offended. And it's one thing if that was played up as a joke, but it's not. It's like, this is actually taken seriously, which is bullcrap. And then you have this other kid that's in the movie, and he just screams the whole time. I'm like, yeah, I mean, there were people in the other Jurassic Park movies that, of course, scream and run from dinosaurs because it's natural, but like, that's all this character does. He whines and screams and acts like a baby. And it's like, what audience wants to watch this? Apparently, a lot of people, because this movie made like $1 billion worldwide or something like that, even though it's completely awful. This is one of the worst scripts I've ever seen for a movie. I hate that line that's used in scripts where they're like, as you know, and then they proceed to explain what they just said that you already know. Like, just so many lines of dialogue like that are horrible. Granted, the acting is just slightly better in this one. I mean, it's not good, but like, it's slightly better and there's more charisma slightly, but it's just like, the characters are really stupid. And my biggest problem with this movie is that every shot, every scene is ripped off from Lost World, Jurassic Park. Like, the whole opening of this movie where construction workers are working on an island. Then one of them gets eaten. It's literally the same opening sequence of Jurassic Park, shot for shot, just kind of slightly tweaked to where there's a dinosaur in the water that ate him instead of the T-Rex. And it's like, you just ripped off all these movies, and they, like, the whole plot of the movie where they're like, they got Site B, right? Site B in Jurassic World, right? Why couldn't they just take these dinosaurs to the island right next to it if they wanted to save the dinosaurs? Why couldn't they do that? I don't know. It was unoccupied. But instead, I think it was Isla Nublar, they didn't do that. And it's like, it feels like to me, they're like, yeah, Jurassic Park is the only one in canon. But it's also not, because they'll bring up things from the Jurassic Park sequels, but they'll only do it like slightly. So it's like, are they canon? Are they not? Why are you just ignoring them? And if they're not canon, why are you ripping off sequences from those sequels if you're going to act like they're not canon, right? That'd be like if the new Star Wars movies just like ignored the prequels, but then they stole sequences from the prequels. It'd be really freaking weird, right? Because those movies are already ignoring the prequels, but now they're just bringing them up again. It's like, what are you doing? It's just such a confused mess of a movie, and I'm sorry if it comes across as rancy, but I freaking hate this movie. This is one of those movies that I just never want to watch, ever. And I watched it again just to do this review, but I never want to watch it again because it's infuriating. It's a movie that pisses me off. There's nothing good about it except for cinematography. But cinematography is the thing that can keep me engaged in movies, but not enough to make me like enjoy the movie. This movie's horrible. Don't watch it, ever. I guess I should talk about the effects. They're slightly better than Jurassic World. That's it. I'm glad someone gave this copy to me for free, because otherwise I would not have this movie, because I hate this movie so much.